Hey everyone, welcome to this video where, as promised, I will be talking about my best tips for email marketing. I promised this to a couple of people and I put myself or pressured myself to create this video, even though I'm not that much of a creator of videos. I usually want to do things live where I'm asked questions so I can at least not be as uncomfortable as making a video just talking to the camera. So I'm sure all of you course creators already know this, but this video will especially be useful for course creators, because I think those people are not really focusing on email marketing, even though they should, and they should definitely do it correctly, and I've seen some of them don't. So that's why I want to create this video and share my best tips for email marketing. I'm sure there are other people that can share theirs as well and thus bring value, not just to the video but to the entire group as well. Okay, so I have divided the tips into technical things and strategies, at least what I would like to refer them as strategies. So the first thing I want to cover is the technical things. This is really important, and you as a marketer or a course creator or someone that is practically trying to jump into email marketing definitely should know. So the first thing is set up or authenticate your domain. And by that you need to set up SPF, DKIM and DMARC record. To the very least, there is a new DNS record which is called BMI record, but that's not totally supported at the moment, so you shouldn't be focusing on that one, but definitely focus on these three at least. So what are they? So the SPF record is Sender Policy Framework record, and what that does by itself is trying to prevent spoofing. So what spoofing is, someone trying to represent themselves as you, abusing your own domain to send an email to someone else. Maybe they have stolen your list and they want to represent themselves as you. And if you have the SPF record, if you have the DKIM record and the DMARC record as well, then you'll pretty much be at least to like 90% safe from being spoofed. DKIM is a domain key as well. It's a kind of like an addition to the SPF record. So initially the SPF record was the first record that they created, then it was the DKIM, which kind of gave a bit more security to the SPF record. And then the other one, which is really good, is the DMARC record, and that one allows you to track your emails and your traffic and what's going on in the backend. Is your SPF failing? Is your DKIM failing? You will get those things from the DMARC record. Now, enough of me babbling. Let me just show you an actual example of what SPF, DKIM and DMARC might look like. So I will use this. Let me just close this. This is probably the best tool that anyone out there can use to check their domain and see if their domain is set up technically for email deliverability. Okay, so I will use, I don't know, .club. This is just a dummy domain. I don't really use it per se, but this one is hosted on Namecheap. So really it depends on, number one, what autoresponder you use. Are you using SMTP? Pretty much doesn't really matter, but which SMTP you use definitely does matter. And you will find those DNS records that are required in your autoresponder. So depending on what you use, they have their knowledge bases. You can check those things there. I won't cover that in this training because it's really unique to every autoresponder out there. So yeah, this service here tells me if I have an SPF record, which I do, and is it correctly set up, because you need to have only one SPF record. If you have multiple, then your SPF records will not pass, or they will fail. So yeah, make sure that whenever you're checking things up here, it's all green. The next thing that we need to check is the DKIM record. So it's not that easy to check a DKIM record because they go by signatures. Some of you might have default, this one doesn't. What I have is from my autoresponder, and that is MP1. That's not the name of the autoresponder, but it's the name of the signature under the DKIM. So this is it. You will see something like this. You don't really have to worry about what this private key is or public key is or whatever, but you have to worry that it's passing. That's the biggest thing that you need to worry about. Now, if you remember, I was talking about DMARC. If I check this out right now, I don't have one. So what I can do is I can even generate one here. So I will go to DMARC and I will put in DMARC lookup. I think it will give me a DMARC generator, which it doesn't. So what I will do is DMARC generator, hit enter, and there are a couple of services out there that you can use for this. Some of them even allow you for like free reports up to a certain point, and I think MX Toolbox does the same thing. So what I will do here is how do you want mail that fails DMARC to be treated by the recipient? So this is the sender policy that we can set up. If it's none, it's just a reporting mode. You will receive reports. If you are 100% sure that your DKIM and SPF record will pass, then set up quarantine. Or if you want to go to a step further, set up reject. So this way, every email that doesn't pass with the SPF and DKIM will eventually bounce. So that's something that you should also be very careful of, because if you don't have things set up technically, if the SPF and DKIM are not set technically, then you might be into trouble if you have the DMARC record. So as a general suggestion, some people out there don't even add DMARC record because they are not 100% sure if their SPF and DKIM are aligned. So what you can do is test things out. Try one email without an SPF, without a DMARC record, and try one with a DMARC record and see how those react. So if I want to add this, I will go to Namecheap and log in here. Let me just copy this one so it will be easier for me to find the domain. Just quickly hit here, click manage, go to advanced. Now again, this is really unique to your hosting provider. If it's not Namecheap, you will have to Google or ask your hosting provider to check this out for you. Some of the hosting providers ask you to add the entire host name here, while Namecheap only asks you to add the DMARC portion of it. So then after that, I will just copy the value and put it here and hit on a checkbox. And now I can go back to the MX Toolbox. Now if I want to, I can also register with this with MX Toolbox, and they will tell me or give me weekly reports and things like that. I'm not sure about the pricing, but you can check it out. Now as you can see, I have a DMARC record. Okay, let me get back here. I think I wasted a bit more time on SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, but they are really important and you really need to have them when sending out emails. You don't want to see an email in your inbox saying from whatever domain via, for example, via Aweber, via GetResponse, via MailChimp, or whatever it is that you use. So always add the SPF and DKIM records. Okay, the next thing is have a mailbox for your domain that you will use to subscribe to other newsletters and send out emails from to show engagement. So a lot of people tend to simply buy a domain, buy an autoresponder, and start mailing emails. And in the reply to email, they either use an @Gmail account, @Yahoo account, so they are using a public ISP, and that's wrong. That will hinder your deliverability as well. Always use business email. At least set up a forwarder, at the very least. So as you can see here, it's not the perfect solution, but if you are really on a budget, at least set up a forwarder. Namecheap allows me to put in my name here in alias to forward to my Gmail account. But it's really important that you have some sort of engagement in your mailbox before you even start with marketing emails. Okay. The third one is really important, and I've seen a lot of people missing this. And to my surprise, there were a lot of course creators as well that were using just a domain with no website, with nothing, simply for sending out emails. Now, I understand you might want to protect your actual website, right? But always have your domain have a website. Even if it's the simplest one, you can grab a free WordPress account and map your domain to that, or even a Wix account and map your domain to that, and just put data about your business. And what's the good thing there is you can even have a link to your actual website, that when somebody lands on that one, and you can tell them, if you want to get more info about our business, just click here to check our actual website. You have to be honest. Okay. So yeah, these were the 3 points that we covered. So having an SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, have a mailbox and show engagement from that mailbox, and have an actual website. Now we come to the protection of the domain, right? So this is where you can also use subdomains to send out emails. So let's say you have different types of emails, right? You have transactional emails that you send like for logins for your, I don't know what platform you might use out there. It can be another one for promotions. It can be like, for example, if I am to use this one, it can be sales.emailfunnel.club. It's not optimal, but it's good. So you have to have them divided. Then you can have updates.emailfunnel.club. Yep. So that's about subdomains. Then testing your deliverability before sending the email campaign. You have to have a little bit of a clue as to how your campaign will do even before you send it. And there are a couple of tools that can help you with that. Number one is mail tester. So what you do is simply copy this one and just send a test email to your own, from your own autoresponder. So let me just go to this autoresponder that I use. Actually, let me log out from this account and go to my testing, if I can open it up. Okay, so I will go to number 3, again, this is not I don't want to show the platform itself, although it's a good platform, but I want to show you how this can be done. So I will copy this and let's see what kind of things we will do. So email preview sent, let me check. Okay, whilst that doing a thing, I want to show you another one, which is gmass.co/inbox. Now, what this does, it allows you to grab these 20 email addresses and use them in your autoresponder and send them an actual email, and type in your from email here, or domain, or the ESP even, and it will show you where your email landed. So as you can see, someone else is currently testing, and someone is getting to inbox, someone is getting to spam, someone is getting to inbox and forums, someone is getting to primary inbox. So yeah, again, when you're getting into inbox, no matter which one it is, it's 100% better than getting to a spam. And on the other side, on the flip side there, it's 100% harder to get from promotions to inbox than it is from spam to promotions. So let me just see what this said. Okay, so we have 7.6 out of 10, and this gives us what can we do about this. So we have header from different. This is something that you can definitely do, but I have to check this out and why this is happening. Untrustworthy TLDs. But this is pretty much a template, so I'm not expecting a lot of things here. So as you can see, it's saying something here like click.click, whatever that means. You'll have to pretty much read this out, Google things out, and find out why that is happening and fix things up. Okay, then it's saying your message failed the DMARC verification. You see what happened here? So sometimes it's not really good to have a DMARC. Sometimes it's better even to not have a DMARC, especially if you do like quarantine or what was the other, reject. The other things are good, we are not blacklisted and all that. Again, this is not 100% accurate thing that if you get like your email is almost perfect, that means that you can just send the email. What you can do is test with this one, and the good thing with this particular platform is it has a spam test within itself, and it's really similar to this one, although it's a bit more robust. It checks not for just for Gmail, but it checks for Yahoo, AOL, Outlook, Hotmail, all those. So if you have a different list, not just Gmail, then you can use the spam test feature that this platform offers. Again, if you do have this platform, which is called Mailview. If not, it's not currently on sale, but once it is, I can let you know and we can discuss further about that. Okay, it's again, this video is not about Mailview right now. Some of your services out there or email autoresponders might also offer this. Okay, the next platform that you can use, but this one is paid, it doesn't really have free, is Glock Apps. This platform is really robust, and it tells you like why your email landed in spam, what are the possibilities that why it landed in Gmail spam folder, and all those things. So I'm not gonna get into it because it's super complex. So you can use either this one, definitely use Mail Tester, and try to get at least 9+, at least 9.5 plus here on the score before you send the actual email. Okay, then you can also use this one, as I said, and let me get back here. Okay, this is another thing, and this is more specific to those that actually have troubles with deliverability. So if you're getting constant open rates like above 15%, 20% or more, then you can get away with adding more links. And please remember that social media links are links. Mail to links are also links. Unsubscribes, the link in your email that's saying unsubscribe here is also a link. So make sure that you count them as links as well. And try not to add more than 3 links. What I tend to tell people, especially in the initial emails, is instead of sending an email with all those links, just send an email where in your signature you have your phone number and your name. And probably the maximum thing that you can add, again, depending on what you're doing, is your LinkedIn profile. I think those 3 things are kind of the most respective from people, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but please provide data on that. But based on my research and having discussions with other people, I think if you have your profile link from LinkedIn, even though not so much today, but it was still relevant, and people trust that one more. And also having your phone number in there helps a lot more than having your YouTube channel link. Now I know you're kind of hoping that, oh, if they like my email, they might click on the YouTube channel and might subscribe. That might happen, but on the other hand, I'm sure that will not happen on your first 3 emails. So why would you put your YouTube link on your first 3 emails, unless that is your actual goal? If that's your goal, then you will put the link not just in the signature, but put it where they can actually click on it and go to that particular video, right? Okay, so far this is about what I can share about the technical things. There is one bonus thing that I remembered just now, and it's really useful. It's called postmaster.google.com. I know some of you might be frightened by this, and I'm not sure I even have this domain added. Oh, I do. So once you have your domain added here, you will have the option, if you click on it, to see how much is your spam rate, what's your IP reputation. Although if you're using a shared IP on an autoresponder, this doesn't really matter, and you should always focus on your domain reputation. Again, this domain doesn't have anything to display. Let me find one that does. I think this one is a bit interesting, and I can show you why. So as you can see, this one had very good reputation a way back. It was all-time high, but then around the March 7th it tended to fall to medium, which again is not extremely bad. When you get to this section here, then it means your domain is almost fried, and what you have to do in this case is 100% get back to only the people that open your emails and that you actually know and can contact on a different way. And what you can do in that case is send them an email, ask them to reply back, ask them to mark your email as not spam, and that would probably give for amount of time, like a week or 2, it will definitely help your email reputation get back again. This is why also like subdomains are kind of preferred sometimes to send out emails from, because if your subdomain is killed, your actual domain might not be. But let me show you why this might have happened. If I go to the spam rate, and as you can see, it's all music, so that's what I can say. Especially this here is 0.7. The usual one that you should strive to or aim to be is 0.1%. Again, is there a formula to not get spam complaints? Not really. You cannot get away from spam complaints. It will happen to everyone. I mean, the other day I was checking out a reason why there was a spam complaint, and it was simply because he didn't like the content of the email because it was a survey with stupid questions. So you cannot be that careful to please everyone just so you won't get spam complaints. But with that said, you should also try to aim to the industry standard of like 0.1%. That way, if you're getting something like this, you really have to ask yourself about the content of the emails that you're doing. Okay, in order to add a domain here, it's quite simple. You just need to click on this plus sign here, enter your domain. It will generate a TXT record that you will need to add into your domain. So let me just show you how that looks like. They are unique per every domain. So as you can see, it's saying like Google site verification, whatever. And it has to be pointing to whatever the domain is. You might want to map the subdomain or something like that. Okay, let me get back to this here. Now we're talking about strategies. Again, this is somewhat, if you may not known already, I always focus on having high email deliverability because I think that's probably the best way right now in 2021 and even 2020 to have successful email marketing. Because if your emails are not landing in their inboxes, they will simply not be seen. There are other aspects to that because nowadays even inboxes are extremely full of emails, so you have to be really wary of the sending times. You have to train your subscribers to expect your email at a given time. So we had a debate with a person the other day that he was saying like we should allow our subscribers to pretty much segment themselves. From my experience, which is about 2 years in email deliverability and email marketing, no one or very rarely that you see people segmenting themselves. They either like your emails and stay with you, or they don't like your emails and just unsubscribe. No matter how good of a person you are, if you fatigue them enough, it's called email list fatigue. If you blast them daily with a lot of emails that they don't correspond or they don't correspond anymore, then you're in trouble. Then you might get spammed, then you might get a lot of unsubscribes, and simply you will get no opens, which again it will give an information to all the ISPs out there to simply just cancel your emails, send them to spam or whatever. Okay, so yeah, make sure your first email is always text-based. So the welcoming email should always have the best deliverability possible. And to ensure best deliverability possible, you should have no links. You should have maybe one link if you're delivering some free product. You should have text only and maybe a tiny logo or an image from you in the signature. That's all you need to have. It should be rich in text. You should inform them that they will receive emails also at a given time. Would it be daily? Would you be mailing them once per week? Would you be mailing them every day? Would you be mailing them 2 times, 3 times, as many times as you are planning to send an email to them? Be very specific in the first email. And also the other thing that you should do there is ask them to add you as a contact. Okay, so once we have that, I kind of covered the number 2 here as well, sending targeted emails and personalized emails. So sending targeted emails is really up to you to decide. who is your target audience, and depending on how they have how would I say this, like how engaged they were with your welcoming sequence, with the other emails, you should really segment your subscribers. Are they buyers? Are they freeloaders? Are they opening emails consistently? Are they opening emails once per week? All those things need to be taken into consideration when sending targeted and personalized emails. The third suggestion here is create your emails as if you're writing to one person. Don't use dear though. Do not use dear customer. The ISPs don't like that. And even your customers, are they really dear to you? Or do they consider you as dear to them? So I don't think so. But use starting lines such as hi, hey, or whatever you might want to. Just don't use dear. Okay, create your emails as if you're writing to one person. It's really easier to make a personalized email when you're writing to one person instead of writing to group. If you're writing to a group of people, it might look like a promotional email. So try to focus as if you're writing to one person only. Creating valuable emails. I haven't shared much here, but let me try and show you a result. I think I've been talking quite a lot, but I just want to deliver this message, and I really hope that you will check this out. So one thing that I've been doing as should I log in? Okay, I don't. So let's say we are running a gardening business or gardening affiliate marketing, whatever that may be, right? Gardening. So I will type in gardening. I don't know how to draw things. The first thing we need to do is set up a landing page or something like that where we'll give something for free, and that would be an actionable content. The best actionable content, in my opinion, are checklists. Something that you can give to your subscribers that they will immediately see value to. And I think checklists are probably the thing, because nobody would like to read an ebook right away when they get it, right? They will just get the ebook. I mean, even I have a lot of ebooks that I haven't touched. I haven't even opened, I just downloaded them. But for checklist, it's a lot different. At least what you will do is open them up. So offer checklists. That's my point of view here, because they are most actionable, I think. And for gardening, let's say you will say 10 tools to help you with your home gardening. Okay, so this is what you will offer. And so number one, it will be rake. I think that's the word. Number two can be gloves, and so on and so forth. Then after you have done this checklist, right, your first email when you're delivering it should be the checklist. Checklist should be delivered on the first email. Okay, then we should have a second email. I really need to work on this to improve my writing skills here. The second email should be separately about every tool that you have in your checklist. So you should talk about rakes, the importance of them, how they can make the job better or easier, and all those things. Then the third one should be gloves, and so on and so forth, depending on how many points you have. If it's 10, you will have 10 email welcoming sequence. So this can be also done for, I don't know, whatever product is that you're delivering. I can't really think of some at the moment, but let's say it's about starting a, let's say you're teaching people on how to create products, right? So what you will need to do is first have a checklist such as this one. So where number one would be finding your niche, number two will be I don't know, dividing or creating content skeleton. Number three might be finding your best membership platform and all those things. And then you can talk about them separately in all emails, why they should niche down, how should they find a niche, and all those things. Okay, I hope this really makes sense. Please let me know otherwise. I would really love to hear your feedback on this video and what I can do to improve things up. Okay, let me get back here. Have a welcoming sequence again. Some people refer to this as KLT sequence, know you, like you, and trust you. And from here, it would be much easier to segment who knows you, who likes you, and who trusts you, right? If they have been opening all these emails in the KLT sequence, that means they know you from the first one and they have started trusting you from the last one. And not just opens. Do not only focus on open rates. They should be high, but what you should also have high is the response rate. In 2021, it's really important that you have people that are replying back to your emails. Because if you don't, that really is saying that you don't really have a responsive list. So you might want to check that out and start tracking your responses as well and see what percentage of responses you're getting. Okay, so this one was really asked, and it's difficult to set up on some autoresponders. I can show that with the new mail view here, but I want to also show you how it is possible to set this up on different autoresponders. So what you will do is, I'm sure all the autoresponders out there can allow you to add fields. So what you can do in this case is simply add a field which will be called score or scoring, for example. And roughly that should be a number. Totally depends on you, but I think number is the best way to score, because scoring is numbers, right? And now even the simplest autoresponders out there have some sort of automations, right? Maybe they're not extensive as this one, but they do have some sort of automation. So what you can do is, when somebody opens a campaign, so let's say first of all it can be any campaign, right? If they open any campaign, what you can do is, for the autoresponders that don't have a score directly, let me just find, I think it's in action here, update a custom field, and that would be scoring for me. So I can say increment by 1 or by 2, maybe 2. Okay, so now we have an automation created here that when somebody opens any of the campaigns, they will get a score of 2. If, again, it depends on your, we can also like remove this and add score here, which can be any campaign was opened, increment by 1 or by 2. So score the subscriber if they open any campaign. But again, it really depends. If your autoresponder does not have a built-in scoring, then you can use what I showed you previously as with a custom field. And I'm sure your autoresponders, or at least the vast majority of them, allow custom fields. Okay, so now you will save and exit, and that's about it. That's how you should set up scoring. So based on let's say they get 10 or even 100 depending on how you have set it up. You can then filter them out, and let's say I want to send a campaign only to the subscribers that are having 50 score and above, right? So that is something that you can definitely do, I think, in any autoresponder out there. Okay, even the cheaper ones. So I think that's about it for the tracking and scoring. This is really important, and it is definitely something that I see almost no one is utilizing, which is you're missing a lot here, and you're pretty much hurting yourself and having expensive subscribers just sitting there. So some people recommend 60 to 90 days. I would definitely recommend 30 or let's say 45 days to be somewhere in the middle, right? So if somebody does not open an email in 45 days, you should pretty much either remove them or export them and try to save them back on a different autoresponder. Or what you can do is, again, with automations, there is an option here. I'm not gonna get into it because it might vary from your autoresponder. So actually, let me just show it quickly. I should have actually set up a segment. I think it shouldn't be with opened any campaign, but let me just go to subscribers, go to segments. That's how it's done here. What you can do here is last open date is exactly 45 days in the past. So I can save this segment, of course, call it non-openers or something like that. Again, it's definitely varying depending on what autoresponder you're using. But in the automations, now what I can do is choose that segment, any group, non-openers. And whenever someone gets into this, I will send them an email. Don't disregard the subject lines or anything like that. I won't get into this. I will just click save to everything. And then I will check if they have opened this one. Was opened. Now if it's a yes, you can move them back, right? You can move them to a different list or whatever. If it's a no, again, you'll have an action, delete from group, unsubscribe from all groups, change them to inactive. Again, it doesn't, this is different for any platform out there. But yeah, you get the point. You should be definitely using automations no matter what, at least for this, at least for handling the non-openers. And just tell them, like, is this goodbye? Do you hate me? Those are good subject lines. Are we taking some times off? Whatever, you might have better ideas about that. Okay, so with this, you will just click save and you're done with it. Again, really depends on what kind of an autoresponder you use, but all of them allow for some sort of an automation to happen. Okay, a little bonus that I wanted to also share, and that's list cleanup. Make sure to clean your list as well, not just like for every 40 days, but try to do this like every 6 months. Reason being is soft bounces, and the problem with soft bounces is sometimes that they can be hard bounces, which greatly affect your domain reputation, but they're not considered as hard bounces due to whatever technical setup they have. So let's say if there is an actual domain from that, a business domain, but the MX record is missing now, so that one will be a soft bounce, which actually is a hard bounce. So that's why you should use a list cleanup software. This platform has a list cleanup itself, but there are also millions of list cleanup softwares out there. Ones that I like are this is the cheapest one, Clear a List. Then it's TrueMail. What was that? Mail Floss. This one I like as well. And then there is IP Quality Score, I think it was. Yeah. The interesting thing with this one is, and I'm not sure if I can show you that, and I probably won't because of GDPR thing. I can't really share data such as subscribers and whatnot, but this platform here also shows you like the probability of that person marking your emails as spam. So if they have been marking emails as spam in the past, that means that they have the tendency to mark emails as spam in the future. So what you need to do is, if you want to get this platform, just get in there, and I think they have like 5,000 credits for free, so you can register to ipqualityscore.com and try the list cleanup software, and you will see if you have possible complainers and things like that. Okay, I think I am at the end with this, and I think it's been a longer video. I was hoping that I would have ended this in like 15 minutes, but I'm sure it took a lot longer. If I can see somewhere here, it's actually 46 minutes. So that's it, people. My name is Dame, or you can call me Damien if that is easier for you to pronounce. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If not, or you have feedback and you want to reach out to me, I would be more than happy to accept that feedback, even if it's a negative thing. If you disagree with me, please comment either on my video or in the David's Facebook group, and we can discuss things and help each other out, right? So that's my goal here. Okay, so with that said, I will just conclude this video, and I really hope that you will find it helpful. Thank you.